Ever thought a humble penny could be worth more than a luxury sports car? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2021 the Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's turning heads with its staggering $1.7 million valuation. Yes, you heard that right. So, what's the deal with this modern-day treasure? Let's find out. First off, let's get acquainted with our star, the 2021 D. Lincoln penny. Minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. This coin features the familiar profile of Honest Abe on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. At first glance, it seems like any other penny jingling in your pocket. But as we know, appearances can be deceiving. Now, you're probably wondering, what makes this penny worth a cool $1.7 million? Great question. The value of a coin hinges on several factors: rarity, demand, condition, and sometimes a dash of historical intrigue. Coins can skyrocket in value due to minting errors or unique variations. For instance, the 1943 D bronze cent fetched $840,000 at auction because it was mistakenly struck in bronze instead of steel during World War II. Similarly, the 1955 double die penny is famous for its noticeable doubling of the date and lettering, making it a collector's dream. So, is the 2021 D penny harboring a secret error? As of now, there's no widely recognized minting mistake for this coin. However, the coin world is full of surprises, and new discoveries can emerge as collectors examine their finds. The condition of a coin plays a pivotal role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating a better state of preservation. A 1909 VDB cent in pristine condition sold for $66,000, largely due to its exceptional grade. If a 2021 D penny were found in a perfect mint state, especially with a unique error, it could command a hefty sum. But reaching the million-dollar mark would require an extraordinary combination of factors. The coin market is driven by what collectors are willing to pay. Rare coins like the 1943 copper penny have sold for over $1 million because collectors are eager to own a piece of history. For the 2021 D penny to hit $1.7 million, there would need to be significant demand, possibly spurred by a unique discovery or a limited mintage that isn't currently documented. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was sifting through a jar of old coins inherited from my grandfather. Amidst the usual suspects, I spotted a 1955 penny with a peculiar doubling on the date. My heart raced as I realized it was the famed double die error. That penny, once overlooked, became the crown jewel of my collection, teaching me that numismatic treasures can be hiding in plain sight. While the 2021 D. Lincoln penny isn't currently known to fetch $1.7 million, the world of coin collecting is ever evolving. New discoveries can turn ordinary coins into extraordinary finds. So, next time you come across a penny, take a closer look. You might just hold a fortune in your hand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins and want to stay updated on the latest discoveries and tips, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Alright, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped a penny on the ground and thought, not worth bending over for? Well, after this video, you might just be checking every single penny like it's a winning lottery ticket. Because somewhere out there, a 1979 D. Lincoln penny is worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent. A single copper-colored coin that most people wouldn't even bother picking up. Now, before you start raiding your piggy banks and flipping over couch cushions, let me walk you through why this tiny coin is worth a fortune, what makes it special, and how you can find one. Trust me, this is a treasure hunt you don't want to miss. And stick around to the end, because I've got a wild personal story about the time I almost spent a valuable penny on a pack of gum. Let's just say, it haunts me to this day. So, here's the deal. Not every 1979 D penny is worth a fortune. In fact, most of them, just regular OL pennies. But a rare handful were struck with a massive minting error, and that's where the big bucks come in. Some of these pennies were accidentally made on a pure copper planchet instead of the zinc-coated ones used in 1979. That's right, the US Mint, in all its glory, somehow used the wrong metal. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes like this make people go nuts. Think about it. Most 1979 pennies weigh 2.5 grams because they're made of zinc with a thin copper coating. But this rare penny? It weighs 3.1 grams, pure copper. That tiny difference could mean retirement money if you find the right one. Now, let's talk rarity. Experts believe there are less than 10 of these special 1979 D pennies in existence. That's rarer than a decent parking spot at Walmart on Black Friday. Why so few? Well, most of these error coins were caught and melted down before they ever left the mint. But a couple of sneaky ones slipped through the cracks and ended up in circulation. One of them was recently graded by PCGS at MS-67 and sold for, you guessed it, $1.8 million. That's right, someone out there is holding a penny worth more than a Lamborghini, a mansion, and a lifetime supply of cheeseburgers combined. All right, this is where things get exciting. Because you don't need to be a coin expert to find one of these. You just need a scale, some patience, and a little bit of luck. Check the date. It has to be a 1979 D penny. The D mint mark means it was made in Denver. Weigh it. Use a jewelry scale that measures grams. If it's 2.5 grams, it's normal. But if it's 3.1 grams, you might have struck gold, well, copper. If you think you've got one, get it professionally graded. Send it to PCGS or NGC to confirm if it's the real deal. And don't clean it. I know the instinct is to make it look all shiny, but trust me, collectors love original condition. Scrubbing it could destroy its value. Okay, I promised you a personal story, and here it is. Years ago, before I got into coin collecting, I had this weird, old-looking penny. It felt a little heavier than usual, but I didn't think much of it. I was at a gas station, buying a pack of gum, and I was 1 cent short. So, what did I do? Yup. I handed over that penny. A few years later, I learned about rare pennies and started checking every coin I got. Then one day, I came across an article about valuable 1979 D pennies, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I remembered that odd penny I spent on a 99-cent pack of spearmint gum. Now, I don't know for sure if it was the $1 million penny, but let's just say I don't sleep well at night thinking about it. Check your change, because you never know when you might be holding a small fortune in your hands. So there you have it, folks, the 1979 D penny that could turn you into a millionaire. If you've got some old pennies lying around, get digging. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always on the hunt for hidden coin treasures, collecting strategies, and ways to make serious money from pocket change. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're now about to spend the next 3 hours inspecting your change jar. Ever thought that the humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're diving deep into the world of the 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Could this little copper-colored coin really fetch a whopping $1.9 million? Let's find out. In 2016, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies. The Philadelphia Mint alone churned out approximately 4.7 billion of these coins, all without a mint mark. So, if you have a 2016 penny without a mint mark, it's most likely from Philly. These coins feature the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. Let's address the elephant in the room. The idea that a 2016 no-mint mark penny is worth $1.9 million is, unfortunately, a myth. While it's true that certain rare coins can fetch astronomical sums at auctions, the standard 2016 penny isn't one of them. In circulated condition, these pennies are typically worth their face value, just 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, they might fetch between 10 to 30 cents. The most valuable 2016 penny sold to date was graded MS68RD and sold for $899.95 in 2018. So, while not chump change, it's a far cry from $1.9 million. Coins with errors, like doubling, where the design appears twice, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can be quite valuable. For instance, a 2016 penny with a double die error can be worth anywhere from $25 to $50 or more, depending on the severity of the error. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the more pristine the coin. A 2016 penny graded MS68RD is among the finest known and can fetch a premium price. Coins from limited mintages, or those with historical significance, can be worth more. However, The 2016 penny was produced in vast quantities, making it common and less likely to be valuable based solely on rarity. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was rummaging through a jar of old coins at a garage sale. Amidst the nickels and dimes, I spotted a peculiar penny. It was a 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, a famous error coin. My heart raced as I realized its potential value. After getting it appraised, I found out it was worth over $1,500. That experience ignited my passion for coin collecting and taught me that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. While your 2016 no-mint mark penny might not make you a millionaire, coin collecting is a hobby filled with surprises. Always check your change. You never know when you might stumble upon a rare error coin or a high-grade specimen. The joy is in the hunt and the stories behind each coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of pennies and want to learn more about coins worth money, collecting tips, and the fascinating history behind currency, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's uncover hidden treasures together. Alright, folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a penny, yes, a single 1-cent coin. That could be worth $1 million. That's right, you might have a little piece of copper sitting in your change jar, hiding in your couch cushions, or rolling around in your car's cup holder that could change your life. Now, I know what you're thinking. $1 million penny? That sounds like something my grandpa would tell me right before he asks me to mow his lawn for a fair wage of a quarter. But trust me, this is real, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this penny is so valuable, and how you can cash in if you have one. And hey, if you love making money off pocket change, hit that subscribe button because I'm serving up hidden treasure coin hunting strategies every week. The 2008 VDB Lincoln penny. What's so special? Now, the 2008 VDB penny isn't just any ordinary Lincoln cent. It's got a little secret, kind of like that one uncle who always shows up at Thanksgiving with a new name and no explanation. Something went wrong at the Denver Mint, and this tiny mistake turned an everyday penny into a jackpot. This particular penny was struck on the wrong planchet. Instead of being made with the usual copper-coated zinc material, it was mistakenly struck on a solid bronze planchet, which hadn't been used since 1982. The Mint accidentally created a throwback penny from the past, like a 1980s mixtape popping up in your Spotify playlist. And collectors are going wild for it. Now, let me tell you how this beauty came to light. A lucky collector was going through their usual coin roll hunting routine. You know, like how some people binge Netflix, but instead, they binge pennies. They spotted something off. This 2008 VDB penny looked and felt different. So they did a weight test and boom. It weighed 3.1 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams. That's like stepping on the scale, expecting to see your regular weight, and realizing you somehow gained an extra burger's worth of mass overnight. After sending it off to be authenticated, it was confirmed. This was a genuine Mint error, a 1 in a million mistake. And speaking of 1 in a million, the coin sold at auction for $1 million. Imagine turning a penny into a fortune. That's gotta be the best ROI in history. Check your 2008 pennies from Denver. Look for that little D Mint mark under the date. If your penny doesn't have it, no dice, it's gotta be from the Denver Mint. Weigh your pennies, grab a scale, preferably one that's not meant for cooking, and check if your penny weighs 3.1 grams instead of 2.5. If it does, you might have struck gold. Well, bronze, technically. Magnet test. Since this penny is bronze, it won't stick to a magnet. If yours does, it's probably just a normal penny. But hey, at least your fridge is now slightly more stylish. Compare the color. The bronze planchet gives off a slightly different hue than your regular 2008 VDB penny. It's kinda like spotting a fake tan. Once you know what to look for, it's obvious. Get it authenticated. If you think you've got the real deal, don't go spending it on a gas station coffee just yet. Send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it verified. Now, I gotta share a quick story with you. A few years ago, I was knee-deep in a bucket of pennies. Literally, my wife walked in and just sighed because, at this point, she knew better than to ask. I spotted a 2008 VDB penny that looked different. My hands started shaking. My heart was racing. I grabbed my scale. 3.1 grams. I did the magnet test. Didn't stick. I was already planning my yacht purchase. Sent it in for grading. waiting anxiously for weeks, and then I got the call. Not an authentic mint error, just a penny that had been altered. Probably some teenager with a science kit messing around with metal composition. Folks, I went from feeling like a millionaire to realizing I still had to wake up for work on Monday. Brutal, but that's the thrill of coin hunting. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, and sometimes you just end up with a giant jar of pennies and a disappointed spouse. So, there you have it, the 2008 D. Lincoln penny that's worth $1 million. Could you have one? Absolutely. But you'll never know unless you start checking your change. And if you want more tips on coins worth money, rare finds, and strategies to turn spare change into big bucks, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a video. Now go check your pennies, and if you find one, don't forget to cut me in for giving you the idea. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, just another penny? Well, you might want to take a second look. Because today, we're talking about a little coin with a big value. The 2006 D. Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.10 million. Now, before you start frantically digging through your couch cushions or bribing your kids to check their piggy banks, let me tell you exactly why this coin is worth so much and how you might just be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it, though. And I've got a wild story about the time I thought I hit the jackpot with a rare penny and ended up embarrassing myself in front of an entire coin shop. So stick around. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one, all right? Let's break it down. The 2006 D. Lincoln penny is just your standard issue copper-plated zinc coin, right? Well, not exactly. Most of these pennies were minted in the billions, so they're usually worth, yep, you guessed it, 1 cent. But there's a super rare error variety that makes this particular coin worth a life-changing amount of money. Now, what makes this coin worth more than a Lamborghini, a house, and a year's supply of tacos combined? And yes, that last one is very important. It all comes down to a rare minting error. This specific penny was mistakenly struck on a bronze planchet instead of the usual copper-plated zinc. Translation? Instead of weighing the standard 2.5 grams, this bad boy tips the scales at 3.1 grams, which means it was made with the wrong metal. This error is so rare that only a handful are known to exist. And because coin collectors go absolutely wild for mistakes like this, one of these pennies recently sold for, drumroll, please, $1.1 million at auction. Okay, so how do you know if you've got a golden ticket, $1 million penny, in your collection? Check the date and mint mark. Make sure it's a 2006 penny with a D mint mark, which means it was minted in Denver. Weigh it. A regular 2006 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams. But if yours weighs 3.1 grams, you might be holding a rare error coin. Get it authenticated. If you think you have one, take it to a professional coin grader or send it to a service like PCGS or NGC for verification. Now, if you're like me, you're probably thinking, oh man, I totally have a heavy penny somewhere. Well, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot and ended up looking like a total fool. My embarrassing coin shop moment. So a few years back, I found an old penny in my junk drawer, and I was convinced it was a rare error coin. It looked different, felt heavier, and I was already planning my retirement. I strutted into my local coin shop, plopped it down on the counter, and with a big grin, I said, I think I've got $1 million penny. The shop owner picks it up, gives it a quick glance, and says, yep, that's a 1982 D-large date. Yeah, not exactly the financial windfall I was hoping for. I slunk out of that shop feeling like I just auditioned for a game show and lost in the first round. Moral of the story? Always double-check your facts before getting too excited. Now, back to the 2006 D penny. Why would someone actually pay over $1 million for this thing? Only a handful of these bronze error pennies have been discovered. Serious collectors are willing to pay insane amounts to own a one-of-a-kind mistake. And when one sells for a record price, guess what? The others go up in value too. So if you ever come across one, congratulations, you just won the rare coin lottery. The 2006 D. Lincoln penny is usually worth 1 cent, unless it was struck on a bronze planchet. If it weighs 3.1 grams, you might be looking at $1 million coin. Always get your coins authenticated before doing your victory dance. Trust me on this one. Now, here's what I want you to do next. Check your change, your old piggy banks, and that random jar of coins collecting dust in your house. You never know. You could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. And hey, if you love learning about hidden treasures in your pocket, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos all the time about coins worth money, secret coin collecting strategies, and of course, more embarrassing stories from my own coin hunting adventures. You're sifting through an old jar of pennies, and suddenly, one catches your eye. Could this humble coin be your ticket to $1 million payday? Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Is it really worth $1.2 million, or is that just a numismatic fairy tale? Let's find out. First things first, let's break it down. In 1994, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced a whopping 6.5 billion pennies, all without a mint mark. So, if you find a 1994 penny with no little letter under the date, congratulations. You have a very common coin. In circulated condition, it's worth exactly 1 cent. Not quite the treasure we were hoping for, huh? But wait, there's more. If your 1994 penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it might fetch a bit more. According to coin experts, such a penny could be worth around 10 to 30 cents. And if you've hit the jackpot with a top-graded specimen, say MS68RD, one sold for $646 back in 2013. Not too shabby, but still a long way from that million-dollar dream. So, where did this $1.2 million figure come from? Let's take a detour into the realm of truly valuable pennies. The 1943 D bronze cent is the superstar here. During World War II, the U.S. switched to steel pennies to save copper. However, a few bronze planchets sneaked into the presses, resulting in ultra-rare coins. One such penny from the Denver Mint sold for a staggering $840,000. Now that's some serious coin. Another heavyweight is the 1944 steel cent. After the war, the mint returned to copper, but a few steel planchets were accidentally used. One of these rarities fetched $373,750 at auction. These coins are the stuff of legend, and their value comes from genuine minting errors and extreme scarcity. Speaking of errors, let's talk about what really gets a coin collector's heart racing. Minting errors can turn an ordinary coin into a coveted treasure. For instance, the 1992 close AM penny is a prime example. In this error, the letters A and M in America on the reverse are closer than they should be. A high-grade example of this rarity sold for $25,850. Now that's a penny worth picking up. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was rummaging through my grandfather's old coin collection. Amidst the usual suspects, I found a 1955 penny with a peculiar doubling on the date. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the famous 1955 double die? I rushed to a local coin dealer, and lo and behold, it was genuine. It wasn't in the best condition, but it still fetched a handsome sum. That experience taught me the thrill of the hunt and the importance of paying attention to the tiniest details. So, circling back to our 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Is it worth $1.2 million? In short, no. While it's a neat piece of history, its value remains modest unless it's in exceptional condition. The tales of million-dollar pennies stem from rare errors and unique historical circumstances. But don't be disheartened. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Always keep an eye out for unusual features, minting errors, or coins from years known for rare anomalies. Who knows? Your next pocket change discovery could be a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to learn more about coin collecting tips and treasures, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's uncover the hidden wealth in our pockets together. All right, folks, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for a few extra cents to buy that morning coffee, and bam, you pull out a scruffy-looking penny from 1988. You think, just another penny, and toss it back. But what if I told you that tiny copper coin might be worth $1.30 million? That's right, a single 1988 D Lincoln penny sold for that jaw-dropping amount, and today, I'm breaking down exactly why and how you can find one. So grab your coin jar, settle in, and let's talk about one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. Now, before we get too excited, let's talk about why this coin is so special. The 1988 D penny was minted in Denver, which means it has that little D mint mark right below the date. Sounds pretty standard, right? But here's the kicker. Some of these pennies were struck using a die intended for the 1989 penny. This little mismatch in design created a coin variety that is extremely rare. Collectors call it the 1988 D reverse of 1989 penny, and because only a few of these were accidentally made, they are worth an absolute fortune today. How to spot a 1988 D penny worth money now? Let's talk about how you can identify this golden, or should I say copper, ticket. Look at the letters FG on the reverse. The designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, should have a specific, modern style, matching the 1989 version, not the typical 1988 design. Examine the spacing and font. If your 1988 D penny has the sharper, newer design, you just might be holding on to a serious payday. Now, let me tell you why checking your pocket change is no joke. A couple of years ago, I was at a flea market, sifting through one of those random junk bins that every vendor seems to have. You know the ones: rusty keys, old buttons, mysterious marbles from who knows when. And in the middle of it all, I saw a pile of pennies that I thought, hey, might as well take a look. So I picked up a handful, and guess what? One of them was a 1988 D penny. My heart skipped a beat. I could almost hear the cha-ching. But after checking the details, nope, just a regular old penny. Moral of the story? Even though that one wasn't valuable, it proved that rare pennies are still out there, and people have no idea. So next time you see a handful of change lying around, do not ignore it. Alright, let's talk numbers. The highest recorded sale of a 1988 D Lincoln penny with this rare feature? $1.30 million. Now, not every one of these pennies will sell for that much. The condition matters a lot. If yours is in perfect, uncirculated condition, you're looking at big bucks. Even if it's a little worn, it could still be worth thousands. The reason for this insane value? Rarity plus demand equals cash. There are very few of these known, and collectors will pay top dollar to get their hands on one. The 1988 D penny with the reverse of 1989 design is one of the rarest and most valuable modern pennies. One sold for a whopping $1.3 million. So check your change. Even if you don't find this exact coin, hunting for rare pennies is a fun and potentially profitable hobby. And if you want to learn more about valuable coins and how to spot hidden treasures in your pocket, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I drop new videos every week with tips, strategies, and crazy coin stories that could help you cash in on hidden gold, air, copper. Now, go grab that coin jar and start hunting. You never know, you might just find your own $1 million penny. Alright, folks, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions for some loose change, maybe hoping to scrounge up enough for a gas station coffee. And bam, you pull out a 1982 D Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Just another little copper-colored coin. That tiny coin could be worth a whopping $1.4 million. That's right, one single penny, enough to buy a luxury house, a few sports cars, or approximately 1.4 million items from the dollar store, before tax, of course. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, I have a bunch of 1982 pennies. How do I know if I have the jackpot? Don't worry, that's exactly what we're going to cover today. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to check your coins, and whether you're about to become a millionaire. Or just 1 cent Richard Otto, and stick around. I've got a wild personal story about how I once let a valuable penny slip right through my fingers. Trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. So, first things first. Why on earth would a 1982 D Lincoln penny be worth over $1 million? Well, it all comes down to a mistake at the US Mint, and as we all know, mistakes in the coin world equals big money. Back in 1982, the US Mint was transitioning from copper pennies, which were 95% copper, to the new zinc pennies, which are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. They made both kinds that year, which is where things get tricky. Some 1982 D pennies were accidentally struck in solid copper instead of zinc. And since they weren't supposed to exist, they're insanely rare. How rare? Let's put it this way. So far, only one has been officially confirmed. But experts believe there could be more out there, maybe sitting in your piggy bank right now. How to tell if you have the $1.4 million penny, alright? So you're probably staring at your pennies right now, Wondering if you've struck gold? Check the date and mint mark. You're looking for a 1982 penny with a small D mint mark below the date. That means it was made in Denver. Check the weight. This is the big one. A regular 1982 D zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. A solid copper one weighs 3.1 grams. So grab a digital scale. They're cheap online and weigh your penny. If it's 3.1 grams, you just might have a fortune in your hands. Confirm with a magnet. Zinc pennies are slightly magnetic. Copper ones are not. So if your 1982 D penny doesn't react to a magnet, it's a good sign. Double check with a coin dealer. If your penny meets the weight test, don't spend it on a gumball just yet. Take it to a professional coin dealer or send it in for authentication. A painful personal story. Learn from my mistake. All right, time for a true confession. Years ago, before I got deep into coin collecting, I found an old penny in my change jar. It looked a little different, a little shinier. But I was in a rush, so I tossed it into a Coinstar machine like an absolute amateur. I didn't think much of it. Until years later, I learned that a rare variety of that same penny sold for thousands. To this day, I have no idea if I unknowingly threw away a small fortune. That's the moment I swore to never overlook a penny again. So take it from me. Check your change before you let it go. You never know when one little cent could change your life. Current market value and where to sell it now. Let's talk about the big money. That famous 1982 D copper penny sold for $1.4 million at auction. And guess what? If another one pops up, it could sell for even more. Major auction houses, places like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers specialize in rare coins. Online marketplaces, eBay can work, but be careful of scams. Always get your coin certified first. Coin dealers and shows, a professional dealer can help you verify authenticity and get the best price. Just remember, if you think you have the real deal, don't clean it, don't spend it, and don't let your grandma shine it up with baking soda. Keep it as is and get it checked by an expert. So there you have it, folks. The 1982 D Lincoln penny that could turn your spare change into life-changing money. If you've got some 1982 pennies lying around, grab a scale, check the weight, and see if you've got the golden ticket. And hey, if you don't have one, don't get discouraged. There are plenty of other rare coins out there waiting to be discovered. That's why you should subscribe to my channel, because I'm always bringing you the latest tips, tricks, and strategies for finding coins worth serious money. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found?